Thank you all so very much, city council members and staff, for coming today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your families' lives on the weekend, on the Saturday, coming so that we can go through this retreat and really build ourselves as a team. We look like a team, don't we, Coach? With our team uniforms on. So thank you again. We're excited. We look forward to getting a lot of work done, and we're really excited to have Mara here from the Carl Vinson Institute that's going to help us with team building exercises, and we'll go around at this time and have introductions. So our city manager will take over here.
We would like to start with our facilities.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Mara Register. I am your Leadership Development Unit Manager with the Carl Vinson Institute of Government. I also serve as your lead faculty for the Georgia Municipal Association, so many of you recognize me from there. Although I was not in attendance at Mayor's Day this year. I had the wonderful privilege up until May of 2013 to work in local government for approximately 27 years, at which time I retired to go to work for the Institute. Retired as the Assistant City Manager in Valdosta, Georgia. So I'm excited to be here with you all today and look forward to spending today and tomorrow with you. Karen County Finance Director.
Marcia Hampton, City Manager.
Aaron Davis, City Council.
Mark Adams, City Council.
Mike Miller, City Council.
Chris White, City Council.
LaShawn Burdine, City Council.
Mary Yankee, Mayor Pro Tem.
Michelle Robinson, Mayor.
Susan Littlefield, Secretary.
Joel Dodson, City Attorney.
Joanne Tarver, Executive Assistant. Vicky Active, City Clerk.
Sue Ann Shaw, Deputy Chief of Police.
Gary Sparks, Chief, Police Service, Georgia.
Ashley Taylor, County Manager. Kelly Hunter, Communications Director, City of Douglasville.
And I know we have James Grizzle, our IT Director, who's helping us out. He may be eating, so I know he's here quite early this morning. Thank you.
Can we find out who's here?
Oh, citizens?
Yeah, sure. Brian Miller.
Teresa Phillips. We have our Louis Farina, Douglas Sunset.
All right.
James.
Just to defer from the agenda for just a moment, I want to explain it, and you'll see here very quickly before Marcia begins the very heavy lifting you all have to do today. Just to explain my role a little bit with you all, I had the privilege of contacting each of you personally before we arrived. But my role today to keep the conversations focused. You have a lot of hard information and tough information to go through today to conduct the business of the city on behalf of the citizens. I want to keep you focused, keep you on time, make sure everyone in the room is heard. There will be times that I'll be keeping a written record, not necessarily for the purpose of what you're working on today, but especially tomorrow with the work that you're going to do together. Work toward consensus, also to answer questions and to referee if needed. So, and as Marcia will attest, she's known me for a long, long time. She knows I'm real good at that. So, the ground rules simply, there may be discussions that you have today, and I'm going to ask that you don't necessarily buy the idea, but at least rent it for the day. Be respectful of each other. I request that since this room is conducive and the setup is conducive to it, that I ask that you speak to each other. The conversations are about you all working together and having your conversations with each other. Don't judge each other's comments. My favorite one that my mentor Gordon Maynard taught me, don't beat a dead horse, dismount. And I'll help you dismount if necessary. Address challenges, not people. Let's not make it personal. To make sure that we keep forward focus. Let's not focus on the past. Let's talk about today and the future, because that's why you all are here. And just basically, do we have agreement on those ground rules?
Absolutely.
Let's proceed. Thank you.
All right. Well, and again, thank you all, and definitely thanks to the mayor. I'll tell you guys, starting out as Main Street Manager, you look to people and you need help, specifically in local government. And Mayor's been good to me throughout my career. She's always been somebody I can call. and she's always been somebody that's been true and frank. And I tell you, when you work in local government, that's what you want, somebody to tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. So, and in that same vein, Karen and I are going to tell you a little bit of truth about the finances. Not that you hadn't heard truth before, but our purpose here today is more so to be very conversational. We want to show you clearly where your financial standings are. And the main purpose of that today is to give you an idea of where you are, what resources we have when it comes to the funding for priorities that you want to do. What I'm going to recommend to you in today's presentation are priorities that I believe that are most important for us to focus on for 2016. I know there are a lot of things that you all want to do through your tenure as an elected official, but we can't do all of that in 2016. There's just some pressing items that I believe that are going to take up a lot of our time, and we're not going to be able to get everything done in 2016, but I believe that what we present to you today are the most important items. We're, as again, talking about them more in a conversational type setting so that we as staff can get some ideas and some thoughts on how we proceed and where you guys are collectively in wanting us to move forward. I will have the clerk and the assistant taking notes specifically on the things that I believe that you guys want to leave here with, as well as myself. So with that, Ms. Callan's going to start, and I'm going to interject her sometime. She and I have done this, and we've talked about this throughout the course of just basically through the day. So we talk several times a day, so both of us are very versed as to where we are. So this will start off, and I'll let her go in with the financial outlook for us at the city.
We're waiting on James to bring back.
Okay, that's fine. And we are in tab 2. So that is the city workshop since January 2016. Ms. Kelly, you have to speak there.
And this really is going to help us be able to set our priorities and our items and our vision. We don't know, we can have these vast things that we want to do, but if we can't afford it, if there's something else that's going to take precedence, like maybe the maintenance building or something that we're going to talk about, then we need to really set that as a priority, rather than, of course, we want to resurface all the streets in the city of Douglasville, but we need to see where we are, and that's why we need to look at different departments and see, so that we can project and do our vision statement.
And this trying to be informal.
Yes, this is not, we're not adopting a budget. We're not going over specific line items. We are really talking about big ticket items. We're talking about where you are financially. I can tell you that last year's budget process, Karen and I felt went really well. We have done a very good job of making certain all the departments are, they know where they are financially, so we keep track of that, we monitor that closely. So this is really almost in a sense a little more than mid-year, letting you guys know where we stand financially. So when you start talking about some of the projects and different things you want to do, you actually see what funding is out there. So, and it's not.
Right.
Okay, after we're done here, dinner starts at 6 o'clock. There will be opportunity for beverages that are other. If you are going to indulge in those, they are coming out of your pocket. So, city's providing for dinner, but there is opportunity if you'd like to have some other type of beverage. Some other type of beverage.
What kind of beverage?
What kind of beverage?
Apple juice.
Yeah, all kinds of other stuff.
Is that other than sweet tea?
Other than sweet tea, correct, but they will be coming out of your pocket, but we are covering dinner tonight. Also, Joanne in a second is gonna pass out the keys to your rooms. She has those, so, I'd recommend go ahead and, she'll give you have the keys ready for them, so she will pass those out to you. And then, after Ms. Mara wraps up, that will conclude us for today. Tomorrow morning, what time is breakfast being served, Ms. Jones? 8 o'clock. Tomorrow breakfast is being served at 8. We will start promptly in the morning at 8:30. So if you want to get some breakfast for those, Ms. Mayor, can't sleep until 8:30.
What?
I'm used to 6:30 with my kids.
Okay, good. 8:30 will be good.
Can we leave our notebooks in here?
This is our room, correct? Yes, so you can. But those are all my announcements. So Ms. Joanne has your keys to your room. Dinner at 6 o'clock. Anything that's not sweet tea is on you. All right.
We'll be back here at 8 in the morning for
And
breakfast.
be back at 8 in the morning for breakfast, and we will start probably at 8:30 so we can get you guys out of here at noon. And we are not providing lunch. All right.
So,
Hey, y'all asked me to make certain I'm cost effective.
We're not even.
all right, so,
I like food.
first and foremost, I want to thank you because y'all done a lot of hard work today. A lot of hard work today, but I also, want to thank you because you all have done it in a very respectful manner with each other. And you have had what I feel like, in my experience, some very good, healthy, open dialogue, which I think is very important. And I also want to thank you because it's very obvious from listening to all of you all and with your staff as well, that your priority truly are the citizens of your community. And I want to thank you for that because to me, local government is an extremely critical level of government because you are the ones where your citizens can reach out and touch you. And I want to thank you for your public service. I want to thank your staff for your public service. Nobody said it would be easy. And sometimes it's not, but I believe in most days it is a very honorable thing to do, and I admire you because it is not easy. So just to show you that I wasn't just sitting over there playing on my computer all day, one of the things that I committed to Marcia that I would do is, and it's an extremely important process, and when I talk to people about annual retreats, it's not just a matter of establishing some goals, but this gives clear direction to your staff when it comes to budget preparation, because that, in my opinion, is the most important piece of public policy you will adopt on an annual basis. Because it makes a statement for the citizens about what the business of the city will be for the next fiscal year. These goals will now, because you're on a July 1 to June 30th fiscal year, will now become the backbone basis for your manager to work with her department heads to start working on their budget, because that budget process, I can assure you, is already started. And so that's why this is so critical. And so what I have done is I have crafted the goals, as I've heard from your work today. I'll work back and forth with your manager to do edits and refinement that will come with the final report, because there's some conversations I'm going to ask you to have in the morning with each other that I also am going to want to capture in this report so that you will have this to refer back to, because one of the things I'm going to talk with you about in the morning is to talk about what your expectations are of each other. Not only of each other, but your expectations to be successful. What are those expectations of your senior staff? And those expectations that your senior staff have of you in order to be successful. But I think it's important to capture those comments so that you can have that to refer back to and to refresh your memory. So, based on the conversations we've had this morning, these are the goals that I have captured. 1, enter into an agreement with the Georgia Municipal Association to conduct an audit on alcohol licensed establishments to ensure compliance with the city's fee and tax structure. 2, implement quarterly department updates to include an update of the city's financial status to the mayor and city council. 3, prepare and adopt a 5-year capital improvement plan that will include a list of projects, project costs, funding source, and required operation and maintenance costs, cradle to grave. 4, establish a committee to develop a long-term use plan for the old conference center. Plan will incorporate the information from the current engineering study being conducted for the facility. 5, negotiate a new agreement with Georgia Highlands College regarding the use of Bright Star Road Park and present the agreement to the mayor and city council for approval. 6, prepare a list of projects for the proposed SPLOST referendum and enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Douglas County in order for the referendum to be in place for 6 years. 7, conduct an inventory and analysis of neighborhood streets in order to establish a priority list for resurfacing. 8, enter into an option to acquire the property adjacent to Jesse Davis Park. Staff to assess the feasibility of incorporating the property into the existing park or plan future park development and present a recommendation to the mayor and city council. 9, work with Keep Douglasville Beautiful to develop a list of public and private improvement projects and organize an annual community beautification day. 10, finalize a revised memorandum of understanding between the city and the county development authorities for the provision of economic development services for the city. Additionally, complete revisions to the enabling legislation for the city's development authority to remove the mayor as an appointee. 11, initiate effort between the city and the county to identify and revise ordinances in order to implement consistency in the language and requirements of the ordinances. This takes you beyond just the sign ordinance. We're talking about animal control, or there may be others out there. And Marcia has alluded to the fact that there's some others that she really wants to look at with the county manager. 12, conduct a spatial needs analysis for the maintenance and sanitation department. The analysis will determine current and future space and facility needs, assess viability and zoning of existing city-owned property for the new facility, analyze zoning and land use adjacent to the city-owned parcels, analyze the logistical efficiency of the location of those properties, and provide recommendations for the reuse and disposition of the current property where the department is located. And finally, 13, develop and adopt a failed subdivision ordinance. How did I do? And you know, Larry, you made an important point earlier when we were talking about other things that want to be discussed from the council members as well. I think a lot of that really, and you heard Marcia say, it's going to be grind time pretty quickly when it comes to project list development for that SPLOST referendum. It's going to move fairly quickly because the county's going to have to make the call, I think on March.
March.
And so, just be prepared. There's going to be some pretty quick movement. But it sounds like you all have been working on some projects. You had some great presentations today about transportation and other things as well, and City Hall, where there may be some things there. So be prepared with those. But I feel like, based on the conversations that we had today, that hopefully these have kind of captured some really critical, important issues for you all to come up that are going to mirror what needs to be looked at in the budget for the new fiscal year. Now, here's what I'm going to do. In the morning, I'm going to pull this back up again. One of the famous things that my city manager, who Marcia knows very well, and a lot of times he would tell me to stew on things for 24 hours before I pull the trigger, so to speak. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly, first thing in the morning, look at these one more time, okay? To make sure that we're good with this moving forward, and then we're going to get into the other information and processing I prepared for you. I'm done.
All right. So other things before we wrap up and Ms. Mayor clears the report. I know we have the Tiger Cubs issue, that's a priority, and that will be immediate. We understand that. But hopefully what we've been able to do as staff, while we still have some of our staff here, is give you what we feel like, as Mayor said, things that are priority for the fiscal year. Again, no, this doesn't capture everything that I know that you guys want to do, but as you see, this is a lot for 12 months. It's a lot, but I feel like that this means that this time next year, you guys will be able to go back to the constituents and say, look, all the things that I have been able to capture. Kelly's over there. Kelly's typing up. She's preparing something in the form of a press release and documentation, so that can go out immediately when we leave here. That says, look at what we were able to do. So, as Mayor said, think on it, stew on it, and of course, as staff, we always appreciate the feedback in any direction. But this will give us definitely a roadmap for moving forward and what we need to do. Comments of us, comments of your staff while we're still here?
Thank you, Mayor, for doing this. Are you going to go back and
put like, action points on there and also like a timeline?
Yes, ma'am. It'll actually, once the final document that she gives me, it'll be a working document. My goal is that this time next year, just like even with comprehensive plans that you see from Michelle Wright, and she ticks off, she can show you, this is everything that we were able to do. Hey, I would hope to be able to do all 13, and that'll be my goal. But at least somewhere on the scale, you'll be able to see what we were all able to accomplish within a year.
The one thing, a lot of this is staff driven, for us to help materialize with the staff. But the one action item for the council members, for myself and the council members, and it mirrors what Councilman Siegel said, was town hall meetings.
Yes.
And I know that we talked about that before, and so with Councilman Siegel, his department, his community and economic development, or IT or something. IT, is that, that was one of his initiatives too, is that we would have, I said the M&M council members, but each ward would have a town hall meeting quarterly or whenever you felt that it was necessary, to just kind of inform your citizens. They may not come to the council meetings, they may not go on YouTube or have City TV or Comcast or whomever, but you just take the show on the road to them. So that's something, I would ask you to just to consider. A lot of people don't like getting in front of people and talking and all that. I'm one of those, I like working behind the scenes. I do really, I'm forced to talk, I'm really shy. But,
Yeah, right.
but I'll get out and talk, just because. And so, the staff will help us get talking points and whatever is germane to your ward, but just kind of having City TV help us to get out there, and that would be something, because I know Kelly talked about 401 or 411 or something.
Council 411.
Council 411, but council members aren't going into the studio. So take the studio to the community, to your wards, and talk to folks.
And then to piggyback on where the mayor's located, Kelly's going to be making a presentation. She'll be one of your first quarterly reports to you on the 15th, and she's going to talk to you more in depth about your opportunity to do those town hall meetings. Staff is going to be completely available to you to get the information you need, including not only helping with the information that you want to put out there, but also being in attendance. So I would think about, if you are looking to host that town hall meeting, what's most advantageous for the people in your ward. For instance, Councilman Miller and Councilman Adams, if you thought that, the big push that you want to talk about was business, you may want to consider doing something during the day, or you may want to consider doing something in the evening, but it doesn't necessarily always have to be after 5 or in the morning. Just kind of, work with us, talk with Kelly, and we can be able to help you put those together. And one of the things, I'll put the mayor on the spot, I know that there are a lot of things that she wanted to talk about before Mayor starts with the team building tomorrow, just so she can expound on her thoughts and her wishes for you collectively as a group. Included in your packet under the first tab is City of Ethics, and Mayor kind of mentioned about city members signing off on the Code of Ethics. And I think it would be very good for us to end the evening as we think about those priorities and as we approach tomorrow morning to begin that team building process, for the mayor to be able to provide to you her thoughts and her goals as to how she sees all of us, definitely you guys as elected officials and staff, all working together specifically to get these items moving forward.
Tomorrow, right now. You don't want to say that? Oh, sure.
I know you're shy.
No, I am so excited for the opportunity for us to work together as a team. And I know there was some controversy or some pushback about us coming to a retreat. But of course, I've been in government since 2002. And all the boards, West Georgia Technical College, Wellstar Hospital, WSA, even the city council, before recent years, we would go on retreats and they were off-site so that we can try to talk and not have our committee meeting 45 minutes, 50 minutes to talk, and not be distracted. I mean, even my phone, I had to make sure that I did look at my phone. My daughter had an ID interview today. So when I went on break, I looked at the phone. But if I'm in town, I'm going to be distracted, going back and forth. Not to say that we can't do it in town, and maybe we can do it in town next time. But I really want it, and I appreciate that you all signed on to come, and no disrespect to Councilman Siegel, that he has to stand for his convictions, and I'm glad that he submitted his priority list. but for us to come together as a team. Thank you for wearing the team shirts. I know Councilman Adams wasn't in favor of long sleeves. I just appreciate your commitment.
He should like the name.
I know.
Can't believe it uncovered it.
We have a deal on some ale, some beers. So my vision really is for us to work as a team. You know, I'm the person that's gonna run the meetings, but it's really not about me, it's about us. The people saw fit to elect us to represent them, and I really wanna do it with dignity and for us to respect each other. We may not all agree. I've been married 20 years, my husband and I don't agree all the time. But we do all that fussing and fighting upstairs or whatever, we have a discussion and the kids see us, we're on one front, and we come out as a family. So I would like for us to open our lines of communications, trust each other. Hopefully we'll learn how to do that tomorrow so that we have, conversations and that the public, won't see us behaving badly as best as we can. So this code of ethics is just something to look at for us to say to ourselves, I'm gonna take the pledge, I'm taking the challenge, I'm gonna sign on that I'm gonna really pay attention that this is serious. People elected me to represent them and I'm gonna take it to heart. And I believe all of us in this room are doing that. I believe the city council members, you're not doing this to push a button to go somewhere else. You really love the community and you wanna serve. I know everyone on the council, not as well, Councilman Adams and the coach, but I hope to learn you better and have a great relationship in the future. My door is always open. It doesn't matter what time of day or night. But that's it. I just want us to really serve the community. Set policy. That's our job. Really see to be the policy makers and empower our staff to do their jobs. We don't have to get in and say, come over here and pave this street. If we set the policy, we have a list that Michelle's given us. We don't have to go behind her and try to figure out what she's doing. So just trust each other. Let our staff do their jobs. If we have issues, go to the city manager. There's a book, Mayors and City Council Members for the State of Georgia. It's kind of like a primer, and I've had this for a long time. And they have organizational charts in there, and ours is the elected body, city manager, employees. So we don't have to jump from the tier of setting policy to running departments. Best we can. Not to say that we can't talk to each other, but I'll just leave that dot.
And you did provide.
And I provided a book, a leadership, John Maxwell book, and just kind of, we can read over it at your leisure. And I don't know, maybe we'll talk about it. We'll have a book club. So everyone on the council, maybe once a quarter, if it isn't a book, you want a movie, then you want us to watch a movie, maybe we'll have a social and kind of talk about, some of the things once a quarter, or if it's too much, tell me, because I know you have reading for school and all kinds of stuff. But I just want us to kind of be on the same page, and it isn't just driven by me. So I'm the first person to give the first book by John Maxwell. If there's anything on leadership, team building, making cities work, when I went to the U.S. Mayor's Conference, they gave us this book from the mayor from Charleston, South Carolina, Mayor Riley. The Mayor is called. And I started reading it, and I'm up 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh my goodness, he did this in Charleston. It's a wonderful place, and he turned that city around. So those types of things, if we could just really work together, and I believe we can do it, and really make a difference for the community, for the future, for years and years to come. Not that it'll be about us, but they'll say, there was a team there that really set the course of this city on fire and changed the direction in such a positive place. So that's it. I've talked a whole lot. I'm sorry. I'm preaching now.
And I'll wrap it up by saying I do appreciate each of you all. I appreciate the confidence and trust in being able to put this together. I hope that when we close things out tomorrow, you will find that this has been beneficial. I can tell you from a staff standpoint, this has been very beneficial. I am never, one to say not talk to staff or you're never going to hear that from me. But we do appreciate from staff your direction. That's what we need. That's what we want. And we always look to you all, as the mayor said, to set the policy, to give us the direction. So in order for us to have a document like this, for us to move forward, I can tell you it's beneficial. Karen and I were laughing and joking and saying it's almost funny that we're here. Not saying we've never been here before, but it gives us fresh thoughts, fresh movement, and definitely direction to move forward. So again, I appreciate it. I appreciate it sincerely, so thank you all for allowing us to giving us this opportunity to be able to work for you.
Sure, this piggybacks right on the, you know, the budget process that's coming up real soon here now, and this all kind of like works right into that, so very good.
Thank you. Well, that wraps us up. So actually, you guys are leaving early. So please meet in the dining hall at 6 o'clock, Ms. Harper, is that correct? 6 p.m. for dinner. So she has your keys, so if you want to stop by and get your